No, I mean, when it's time for work, I'm dead serious. Let me tell you, I fucking tried to do that with a straight face. No, to be perfectly honest, the more you're supposed to be serious and official, I came with like a different fucking gene. I don't know, man. But like, you know, it's like whenever I get in trouble in school and you go down to the principal's office and you talk to you, you're just like, and you know you're gonna get a pop. You're still like, and then your giggle box turns upside down. You can't stop laughing, man. And you think that shit would end when you're as old as me, but it just fucking doesn't. No, if there's an opportunity to fuck with Reedus, I'm a fuck with Reedus. I'm a fuck with Reedus like you never dreamed. The donut story. Oh, that's an oldie, man. Raise your hand if you've never heard the donut story. Never heard the donut story? Oh, buckle up, you fucking newbie. So dig on this, man. You know, I mean, like, it's about movies. That's in my way. So check it out. This is no shitter. When you do a movie, like all these fucking people that get paid way too much anyway, they give each other fucking flashy gifts at the end of a movie. Like, here's my rap present, you know, and it's a piece of bark that floated to the shore of Tahiti. From, you know, you fucking random, and I had them scribed, and you're like, fuck off, you know. So for rap, I went in and I gave Reedus, you know, at the end of Boondock 1, I said, you know, brother, you know, we've been in Canada for, 3 months. I found there was a Winchell's Donuts, like a dozen donuts, man. He's like, oh, cool. I was like, yeah. Take their killer, don't taste one, man. He's like, oh yeah, I just ate, but I'll eat them later. I'm like, cool, okay, yeah. Went to the makeup trailer the next day. I'm like, did you taste those donuts, man? Did you eat donuts? He's like, yeah, I ate a couple of the donuts. I'm like, where are they, man? Like, maybe I want to check one out. I want to eat a donut. Opened up, sure enough, 2 were missing. Went back like that afternoon, but those fucking donuts are fucking good, right? The glazed donuts are fucking white, like old school American donuts. Fucking love those, right? So, yeah, man, they're good. I ate 3 more. I'm like, open the box. Yeah, sure enough, 5 of those motherfuckers are gone. Next day, I'm like, what about the donuts, man? Did you get those? I said, God, man, I stayed up last night. I ate the rest of the donuts. There's like 2 donuts up. I'm like, fucking pound them right now before anybody sees them because they're American donuts. All they have is Timmy Hortons. And Timmy Hortons sucks. Bullshit, by the way. Timmy Hortons fucking rock ass. It's right. But when you're in a fucking good lie with Reedus, you fucking stick to that shit. He's like, oh yeah, they fucking suck, Timmy. I'm not gonna try Timmy. You got Winchell's right here. Don't fuck with Timmy Hortons. Go with Winchell's. Yeah. Yeah, these are good donuts. Fucking donut. They're fucking glazed donuts. But I'm selling the shit out of these fucking things. You think they were dunked in fucking Hershey Velveeta combo. So he's smacking the shit out of your glaze around his living. Like, fuck, they're good, right? Yeah. Like, well, it's a good rap gift, bro. They had a great time, right? Yeah. Went back home. About a week later, I sent him a little envelope in the mail. Hey, Reedus, from Flanery. It's my rap gift. I love you, brother. Inside is a Polaroid of me, butt fucking naked, with the trouser worm through one of the donuts. Sitting in a fucking Barca Lounger right there. With the Jimmy Johnson peeking out of that hole in the donut. And you know Reedus fucking knew. He's like, I paid 12 of us. 12 of us, man. I can't fucking believe after he knows. And motherfucker's been one of my best friends since before Boondock. It's not like I met him on the movie. And yet still, man, to this day, I can fuck with him, man. That's just so fucked up to do your friend. And I can look in their eyes and they're dead serious. They're like, you don't even know what kind of friend you have and you would do something like that. Reedus is a soft soul. And I'm like, let me just sit you down for a minute, honey. Let me tell you how chicks socialize. They fucking compliment each other when they don't really fucking mean it. Dudes socialize by making fun of each other when they don't really fucking mean it. Am I right? Yeah. And let me tell you, man, when best friends can fuck with each other, I'll tell you, if I see any of you fucking with it, different story. I can do that shit. He's one of my best friends, man. I'll tell you, if anybody did that shit to him with Jimmy Johnson, they'd be asleep. Am I right? That's what bros do, right? You can do that. You can take your buddy and go, fuck you. Anybody did that shit to you on the street? Only I have that right, fucker. That's a different story, man. And also, man, that dude has more dirt on me than I ever have on him. Including a Polaroid of me in nothing but a donut. I'm fucking wearing a donut, that's it. And never once has he liked me a Facebook post. Thank you, brother, by the way. God bless. I love you.
Connor?
You know what? It's funny, but they looped for the dialect. We did it in America, and they hired 2 Irishmen to do it.
Oh, yeah. You know, I'm not buying that because you took my daughter's phone earlier and did the voice, so...
Why would you interrupt a perfectly good lie? They was fucking lying that shit. I've seen one guy back there going, what a fucking idiot! He did it in American? And then they hire a fucking Irish guy? Fuck you, actors! I've seen it in his eyes. Dare you fucking doubt me? God bless you, little shits. You know, when we go to the gun range, you always shoot at the target. Could we just shoot back at you once? No!
I think back to the story of Reedus with the sock from Boondock.
Yeah.
Is there anything along that kind of vein that you could share with us?
Plenty?
Nothing, really?
Everybody knows the sock story, right? It's an old sock story, $1 million. Raise your hand if you're 2 degrees north of butthole Chile. And we're shooting in a forest somewhere, like way away. It's Toronto, it's Christmas time. Like, Donut didn't come to the set. Like, she was in the trailer going, fuck off, I'll stay here with you. Donut's my dog, by the way. And so we're shooting this. I don't know if you guys saw Boondock too, but you know the opening where we're doing the shower and it's all slow-mo. Well, Duffy sold this to us. He's like, you know, we're going to push it in slow-mo. I'm like, really? You on the naked? You're going to slow-mo? He's like, okay, it's going to look cool. Okay, all right, we'll do this, man. So we shoot this, and he's like, you know, we're gonna do it, you know, naked, and the costumier comes in, and she's got these like little marble bags, you know, marble bags, or like marble bag, you know, drawstring. She's like, so you're gonna put this over, you know, yourself, and cinch it up tight, and you know, pull it off, and you know, if you're really, you know, if you're modest, that's okay. Just put this little sock arm tight. Fine. I'm not gonna fucking put a marble bag on my manhood, okay? I wrap that shit in 1,000 thread count cotton. It's the most important thing I fucking own. Jimmy Johnson, my genetic legacy. Fuck you, put it in a marble bag. I'm gonna freestyle this bitch. It's how I roll. Even though it's fucking 40 below. And the trouser warms up in my neck somewhere searching for warmth. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? Most dudes are like, that's me, just so I don't give a fuck, I don't give a shit. So if I do my part, I rock it. There's nobody on the set anyway. I mean, okay, there's like 65 people, but whatever. We've been hanging out for 2 months, and my back is turned, you know. And so I do this, I'm doing my shampoo, my hair, and they do a slow push in, and I go off, and after that, I go in the, I'm like, who's in the bathroom? I go up, crack it, and it's Reedus. He's like, dude, how did you tie your... I'm like, oh, you know, just do like a nautical square knife. He's like, not a square. Like that. Do a bow. Reedus, like you tie your shoe, do a bow. It's like not too tight, brother. It's important. So he does, but he's like, okay, it's like weird, right? I'm like, no. It's not weird. He's like, how tight did you tie yours? I'm like, really tight? really tight, but not so tight. He was in there 10 minutes nursing this loop on his manhood. So I follow him out there, man, and he's back, and fuck, this is slow-mo on the back. So I did mine, I shampooed my hair, I washed up as normal. I didn't have to go to a fucking happy place to remember what it feels like when I shampoo. They shoot Reedus, a motherfucker. Swear to God, you guys saw the fucking movie. Reedus like flexing his ass. I was like, motherfucker. And we were friends for eating us. Dudes, sometimes you see your boy shower. You didn't fucking flex cheeks when you were fucking showering in Vegas, motherfucker. And they push in the camera, and suddenly, the marble back falls off. And I swear to God, you saw Reedus go from to reaching for that fucking marble bag, and some fucking dude sprints onto the set, going, "I got it! I'll get it!" And it was a dude we'd never fucking seen. I'm like, do I need to? Oh, well, then who the fuck is this guy? Oh, that's Jacob. He's my hair. I'm like, I've been in hair and makeup 30 days. I've never seen fucking Jacob. I got it. How many did you need help? Son? I was like, motherfucker out of nowhere. I'd never seen this motherfucker at lunch, not in the makeup trailer, not in the hair trailer, out of the fucking woodwork. That marble belt faggot fell off and fucking out and zipped lob, and he was like, motherfucker, we had blood on his cheek. No one would come and touch that shit up. But the bag fell off and he was. Anyway, that's the showers. Alright, that was incredible. Thank you. I'm going home tonight and you've done good things. You're gonna get home, right? You've done very good things. Basically, I sorted the job, right? Yeah, yes, you did. That's my gift to you, brother.
Now, my question is, and I'm sure you get this a lot, is what's going on with Boondock Saints 3? I mean, nobody wants, Daryl to die, they don't want him hit with that bat, but if he gets hit with the bat, then the movie will probably happen a lot faster.
Well, they've got a hiatus from November to April. So we have plenty of time to do it, but everything's been booked up. To be honest, I haven't talked to Troy Duffy in a year, neither has Reedus. I think he's focused on getting a TV show done, which as it stands now, we're not a part of. But, I know the studio wants to make it, so I wouldn't bet against it, but there's no schedule, But we love Boondock, we love the Saints, we had a ball doing it,
yeah.
So we're, there's not a lot of orange twisting going on.
Yeah, and pretty much everyone I know, it's just like, I have a mug, I work at a bar and watch Boondock Saints.
Well, hell, if you have a mug, fuck. Sony, let's fucking go ahead.
I'm just saying, everyone walk around the bar, Boondock Saints, Boondock Saints, Boondock Saints. It's like just that thing that and probably mostly an Irish thing that just everybody loves it. And,
no, yeah. we're both proud of it, man. We are, and we had a ball doing it. It's there's some things that to reprise a role you'd have to talk about it, but we love doing it, man. And he's a good friend of mine. He is.
I saw you saw that jacket today, man. That was...
Chris Walken fucks with people. And, at first you're a little worried. It's like it's funny. There's nothing weird about him, but he's got such a bizarre cadence of speech, and he places pauses where there shouldn't be any fucking pause. Like, motherfucker stops in the middle of a sentence. I'm like, are you thinking of what comes next? He's like, even I know what fucking comes next. I haven't eaten since yesterday, and I'm really. You're hungry, motherfucker. What are you? Hungry? You're like, I could have fucking told you that. But if you transcribe what he's saying normal stuff, But I mean, he is a prankster. He is a prankster. He used to go, let's go eat Chinese. I was like, yeah, okay, let's go. He's like, do that spring roll thing. Because we'd eat Chinese food. And the waitress lady would come up, every single time when we walk in, and she'd go, "Spring roll for Mr. Walken!" It was really, she'd like yelling at him. She was saying, "Spring roll for Mr. Walken? Oh, spring roll, Mr. Walken! Spring roll, Mr. Walken!" And every time on set, he'd take a lemon, he'd squeeze and go, "Do the spring roll." Spring roll, Mr. Walken! Okay, roll cameras. He was a good dude, man. A really, really good dude. But couldn't be more normal. You know, if you extract that, then everybody, you know, it's just odd. But you know, one of the great acting quotes is, "It's better to be interesting than realistic." That dude hits it on the head. Because if you never met fucking Christopher Walken before, and you went into 7-Eleven and got a chocolate milk, you'd be like, "Dude, what's up? What the fuck are you doing?" Because you're like, "Do you want anything else?" You'd be like, what are you doing? "No, I don't want anything. Why are you fucking talking to me like that?" You know what I mean? But nobody to act like, and in the movies, people just like act as if that's normal. Your taxi driver comes up, "Well, would you like to go?" And then you go, "Yes, 5th and Main." No, that's not how you react to that shit, motherfucker. You're like, "I want to go 5th and Main." "Well, on the way there, let's talk about what the fuck you're doing." It was a long answer to, yeah, he's really cool. Completely different set of sign language for completely politically incorrect profanity shit. Or are you guys just making shit up on the That means like this dude's fuck.
There you go, SPF dialect of ASL.
Sorry about that. But I will do absolutely nothing to correct it.
So my question is, your stories.
One of the quotes that he said, back in 1970, was, you know, "Kindness to others is the rent you pay for being here on this earth." Mm-hmm. And it's really true. You know, you reap what you sow. You know, you give back. And a lot of people have been really kind to me. And it's funny, the first time somebody's kind to you, and it really is an impactful moment in your life. And somebody like Muhammad Ali, you can tell that it's nothing to him. It's nothing to him. He didn't even consider it. But you realize that things can be that lopsided. And one day you live your life hoping that you'll be on the other end of that. Hoping that you can do something that good, that's that fucking effortless, you know? I mean, look around. There's a room full of people that just want to sit and hear me fucking make shit up and talk. It's pretty crazy, right? You know? So, I mean, there's not a lot of stuff I'm good at, but there's a handful of things that I've worked really hard at. And if I can give back to the things that meant something to me in my life, if I can help get somebody else there, you know, whether it's martial arts that I've spent, you know, a whole lifetime doing, if I can put a kid on that path and maybe change him, I think that's, you know, that's the only reason you're here is to really, I think your purpose in life is to leave a better version behind, you know? And hopefully 2, maybe 3, you know? That's my goal. You know, it's not, you know, I just want to make my presence known, and I want to leave the world hopefully a better place. You know, I think that's everybody's goal, and maybe different platforms give you more areas to try and do that, you know. But also, it's self-serving because it fucking makes me feel good, you know. When everybody goes, "Wow, Mother Teresa, she's great. How good of her. Who else does?" No, it makes it fucking feel good. It makes it fucking feel good, you know. And it gives you nourishment for your soul, you know, when you do something. I certainly, there's people that do far more than me, man. But if you can ever give a little nugget back, man, that's why you're here, you know. I had a film premiere at South by Southwest Festival called Johnny Frank Garrett's Last Word. It's about a dude that killed a nun in 1981 in Amarillo, Texas. True story. Very bizarre, too, because he sat on his deathbed right before he was executed lethal injection. He said, you know, I didn't do this. I think you guys are going to find out that I didn't do it, and every one of you is going to pay. Oddly enough, everybody in the jury started dying of weird, rare strains of cancer. Guy get hit by a train, like, who gets hit by a fucking train? You know what I mean? It's that story, really bizarre. And then later, in a year, I have Traffic, a story about human trafficking. It's coming out. I did it with Ashley Judd. So that's two that are coming out. But what he's referring to is Howlers. Now, Howlers is a motorcycle werewolf, weird kind of bizarre story. But I worked 2 days. They consolidated all my work into 2 days. So I flew in, I did it, and I left. So I wasn't there to see them shoot the rest of the stuff. So I don't have a good bead to tell you this is going to be good, that's going to be crazy, the script is killer. But when you're there every day, you get a good monitor of like how this is going to play out. But because I flew in, I did 2 days and I left, and all my stuff is isolated. This is what I fucking did. I'm kidding. But it was fun. It was fun. Motorcycles are werewolves. That's
Yes, awesome.
It's
Yeah.
a good time. That script was cool. Cool. That's Connor MacManus. Okay, he wants Rocco's Dead Weight to fuck up. Just hit the red? Yeah. What's your name? There you go. Hey Damien, I just want to tell you that the snooze button is the first lie you will tell yourself today. It is an instrument for fucking losers. Right now you decide what you want to do. I'm not going to yell. Feel free to go back to bed. But if you do, just know what I want to call you. If you made a promise yourself last fucking night, shame the fuck on you. I'll tell you, shame the fuck on you. You're setting a precedent for the rest of the fucking day. Just my little two.
That is my friend Nadia, and it is her birthday today. So if you could do something, maybe sing her happy birthday, or like curse at her in an Irish accent. I don't know what she wants. It's the birthday girl's wish, but
Let's get to the core of this, though. That's Nadia?
Red wig, yeah.
Red wig. And who are you to her?
I'm her friend.
What do you mean, like?
If you look that row.
Be honest with me right now. Are you drawing a little bit of blood just thinking about it?
Hey,
I'm not saying it. Just be honest with me.
none of them wanted to
Have you dreamed about throwing a leg over? Let's get to the core. Come on.
None of them wanted to admit they know me right now.
I need to understand the relationship.
She talks to me because she thinks I'm hot, I guarantee you.
But does she talk to you or does she talk to you? Okay, happy birthday, Nadia. God bless. Yes, ma'am.
Hi, my name is Alana. Famous person that I've ever interacted with.
Let me tell you, that kind of unapproachable fame is something that you have to cultivate. It really is. I'm not kidding, and I don't have it. I don't have unapproachable fame. I mean, if you guys went to LA, you'd see me walking around Ralph's. No one fucking comes up to me. I mean, I'm not making it up, and I'm not trying to sound overly humble, but I don't have that unapproachable fame. And believe it or not, neither really does Reedus. If you come up to him, he's gonna take a picture with you. He's not, if you surround yourself with that entourage, then people are like weird about it, and it becomes a thing. But if you're just you, I mean, maybe once a day I can see somebody going, but that's you know what I mean? It's not like I get mobbed anywhere. I go to the mall, I go anywhere. There's weeks that go by where not one person said, dude, did we go to high school together? You know what I mean? But anonymity is important to me. You know why? But because it allows me to be a fucking dick when I need to. And being a dick when you need to is something my granddaddy told me was always important. Passion for everybody, but be ready to not have fucking any should the need arise. And I'll tell you, man, you're in a restaurant and they don't bring your food for like 45 minutes. I'm gonna go, excuse me. I used to be a waiter and you fucking suck. You know what happens when Tom Cruise does that? It's on TMZ. Oh, fucking complain about it. You know what I mean? You gotta reserve the right to be a human. And I conduct myself like a regular human. I mean, I mow my lawn, I do all of that shit. Because I don't want to lose touch with that crap. At the end of the day, it's like, those are still things that I want to do. I want to run my hand on the contour of the car when I wash it, It's like, it's important, that shit, And I don't want my kids to grow up feeling like they're any different. I want them to realize maybe maybe shit would have been different when they're 18. I want them to go, you mean to fucking tell me you could have afforded that big Lego set the whole time? And I go, yep. I gave you a work ethic, motherfucker. And that shit will pay dividends till you fucking 90.
Oh my gosh. Well,
What's her name? Hey, Stephanie, when we met, did I do this? Yes, sir. I mean, if I ever come up with the hardest thing on a movie set, it's like, fuck off, man. We're being paid an exorbitant amount of exotic currency and being treated as royalty. You know, we're penguins and we're allowed to insert our fingers wherever we want. It's really bizarre. It's crazy. I'm no shit. You live in a house inside of a truck in between takes, which is a lot of time. You have a 24-hour short order cook who'll cook you anything. The hardest thing is not, it's just not hard, man. It's not, I've had real jobs. I've had real jobs my whole life. Paper route when I was 8, you know. It could not be, if there's any producers in the room, I'm just kidding. It's fucking, woo! I really go to a place for that performance, man. But the truth is, it is, you know. I mean, what's the most fun? Depends on what criteria I'm using to determine what's the most fun. In between takes, because you're with friends, or the most fun creatively, or the most enjoyable because at the end I have this piece of art to hand to someone, or what I think is a piece of art. You know, but it's not a big taxing job. It's not, man. I have ample free time to do anything. There's more people that want to be actors than want to be president of the United States. It's the truth. It's a highly sought after profession, and I am flattered, humbled, and honored to be a part of it, but it's not hard. And if anybody tells you it's hard, like, I had to do this, and I went to an emotional, fuck off, man. Fuck off. Fuck the hell off. You know, I play a homeless person, so I lived on the street for a week and urinated. Fuck you, stinky motherfucker. Take a shower. Take a fucking shower before you come to set. I don't need you to use real piss, motherfucker. It's just not. If anybody tells you it's really hard, they've never fucking worked a day in their fucking life. Never. You go to the military, you go to boot camp, and you tell me this shit's hard. Fuck you. I'm honored to be a part of it. I believe it. But it's not the most taxing shit in the world, you know? In between takes, you're just shooting the shit, you're joking around, it's like, you know, action, blah, 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 cut. So anyway, where are we going tonight? Let's order some pizza. You know, it's doing something like Boondock, you know, I did it with one of my best friends. You know, so obviously, we're just doing crazy shit in between takes. We're doing anything we want. You know, the cumulative amount of work that you do in a day is, I don't know, 25 minutes. You know, spread out the whole day. Then you have, you know, 11 hours and 35 minutes to do whatever the fuck you want. And in Toronto, there was a brass rail with Russian strippers! Ow! We heard about that from Taxi Driver. I mean, he said it was, I heard it was good.
Speaking of
The most excited you were that time, so I don't think you
Well, you know, there was a horse on Boondock 2. Everybody remember the horse on Boondock 2? Mm-hmm. Raise your hand if you've never heard the horse story. Everybody in here is going, man, how did everybody hear these stories? It's just true shit that I share. But in movie making, they ask you all the time, you know, if it's a movie about concert pianist, you know, they ask the actor, so have you ever played piano? Yeah. Philharmonic Symphony? Yeah. Actors are just so full of shit. I mean, you know, this guy is familiar with weaponry. Have you ever shot a gun? Holler, bang bang. No shit, actors fucking lie. So obviously we're shooting this, and in the beginning, you know, there's some horse riding. So they call up Reedus, hey, Short Duffy, he put us on through. He's like, so, hey, Flanery, I wanted to, nah, fuck, never mind, you're from Texas. Reedus, can you ride a horse? Yeah, come here. And I wasn't there, it was a conference call, but I knew them. I know them just by his voice. And so when we got there, they had 2 horses, right? And I shit you not, I see they have a cherry picker, a crane, and Reedus has a harness, and they're lifting Reedus up, turning us up, and setting him on this fucking no shit. Swear to fucking God. Now there's some shit that I can do in my life, and there's shit that I can't do in my life. And there's stuff that Reedus can do in his life, and stuff that he can't do in his life. Horse riding turns out to be one of the things Reedus can fucking do. But if you remember, in that scene, I had to roll a cigarette, right? So, I mean, I'm on this thing going, trying to roll a cigarette, and I'm like taking the paper, and I'm looking over at Reedus, and Reedus is honestly going, he's even doing the old school thing where like he holds the cigarette, he never brings the cigarette to his mouth, but brings his mouth to the cigarette. Fucker's got like skills with that thing. I mean, he was talking to somebody like, so anyway, like later on we're gonna go to the hotel, and I'm just looking at him like, what fuck technique black belt shit? It's fucking black belt cigarette shit. They're folding the paper, like my shit's like spit dripping everywhere trying to roll this. I can't roll it, so he gave me a little tutorial, and they cut around me trying to roll a cigarette and put it in my mouth like I've ever had one in my mouth. I'm like, and Reedus is doing his fancy shit. But we also have to be on a horse. So after they crane that motherfucker on there, we're sitting there, and I'm riding my horse around. Honest to shit, my horse was buck fucking wild. There's B-roll of this. Like, honest to God, he tried to buck me off for like 60 seconds. They got that all on fucking tape. But I grew up in fucking Texas. So I pull up, and he calms down, and I pull up right next to Reedus. And I swear to God, Reedus is cool as fuck, man, twisting this cigarette up. He's folding it, licking it, rolling his tongue. It's like rolling to a kind of dance. You know, like some chicks can like tie a knot with a cherry stem. Motherfucker can make a cigarette dance. Dance, I said. And he's sitting on this horse, and I swear to God, horse didn't fucking move, didn't rear up, didn't jump. Motherfucking horse just shifted his weight. Horse was like this, and it went. And Reedus was like, Flanery! Flanery, move! It's moving! Flanery! It's up! A fucking cigarette's tumbling out of his mouth. He's holding the mane, the reins are up. Flanery! Just let him in there! Fucking guttural noises coming out of Reedus you never fucking heard. I like to piss myself, man. It's a true story, I swear to God. We all died. And so they had to wheel the crane in, read us up. I came out of my trailer and I saw him on the horse. Oh, they're dropping him on the fucking pony. True story. I'll say this. I didn't want to become a writer. I just had something I wanted to write. And I think that's different than acting. In acting, you can want to be an actor. You don't get into it because there's one certain play that you just want to do. It's a very different way of getting into it. Now, after writing, there's something else that I want to write. But I have no desire to just, let me adapt that story that's not connected to me. I have some things that I'm very passionate about that I want to put on paper. But I don't want to just randomly keep writing to be labeled a writer. I don't know if that makes a lot of sense, but I do get enjoyment from acting. But what punctuates my consciousness more severely? Right. It's a different level and different type of place. Puts it. And I'll say this, it's in a movie, there's 100 people you can blame if it sucks. That's just me. You're taking off your clothes and you're ready. So I'm an actor that wrote a book. How fucking stupid is that? And I know I'm gonna be met with eye rolls. Half of you are probably like, fucking Flanery wrote a book, how cute. And I get it. I get it. But I moved out to LA to be a writer. I wrote a piece of children's theater, and then an agent said, hey, I did theater and acted in theater all through university, but becoming an actor in LA just seemed a little bit subjective to me. I've never been a fan of subjectivity. For example, if I ever did the Olympics, I would never want to be a diver and rely on a panel of people to say whether you won. I want to be Usain Bolt. You break the tape, fuck you. I don't care if you think artistic impression, my arms flapped a little too wide. I beat you, motherfucker. I like that. It's not like I didn't think I was a good actor. Not sounding arrogant, but I thought I was a good actor at university doing theater. Look, we didn't grow up with anything. Well, I grew up with more than most people in family. As far as family, I was filthy fucking rich. We didn't have a lot of money. So the prospect of me packing up and going out there and hoping people would decide and put me in a film just didn't seem realistic. Turns out it is kind of realistic, but from my perspective, it didn't seem that way. But I thought I could write. So I wrote a piece of children's theater. I went out and I was going to wait tables, run a theater, and produce my own play. And I knew I could do that. That's achievable. It's relying on me. Like, I'm not a fan of bungee jumping, but I'll tightrope walk, because that's up to me. Bungee jumping, you jump, you're like, fuck, hope shit's cool. I got a lot of strategies in my life. Hope ain't one of them. It's like, I'm gonna do my homework. I'm gonna put everything to bed that I can. So I really moved out to be a writer. And the acting kind of happened when she said, yeah, let me submit you for some commercial. I thought, that supplements my income while I'm waiting tables and producing plays. Yeah. And then it kind of took over. That's not to take away from it. I love it and I adore it. But it didn't seem like a high risk to reward for my life. And I just wanted a little bit more control. But I thought from early on that in my opinion, that I was decent at doing that. And it took a long time, and I started a blog and started talking about things, and people plugged into it. And that kind of made me go, you know what, I'm gonna write that story. And I did. But I wanted to write that story. I don't want to just, and as you guys know, people run blogs for one reason, to lead you to something else that you can buy. I don't sell anything on my blog. And people are like, man, you gotta start doing your blog once a week. No, I don't have anything, I'm not trying to sell anything. When I have something to say, I write a blog. Yahoo and Google, they contact me, let me run ads, you can make this. I don't want to, I'm not trying to sell anything, I'm not trying to monetize it. I monetize in other areas. I get to do movies and whatnot. If I have something, a story that I want to convey, if something happened to me, I write it in a blog. And it became a pretty popular blog. And now there's a bunch of people that read the blog. And it kind of put writing back in the forefront, and it made me want to put pen and paper in the form of a book. And now I have something else I want to write, but I don't want to just, it's not like I have a goal to do 10 books in so many years. I have a goal to extinguish all the things I want to write and be done with it, but that's it. Oh, if you,
A million of
we got to wrap it up now. We have a raffle for everybody, and I want I want to give somebody a book. So let's do that quickly right now. First of all, stand up, you guys. Look at what they made. Look at the shirts. Pretty cool, right?
Everybody's names in here, right?
And I'll tell you this, guys, for something like writing a book, I've never been solely responsible for anything. Like I was talking about movies. 100 people you can blame. There's only one person to blame for that. Whenever you see people that make shirts of your book cover, that's a different type of currency altogether. I mean, that makes you feel better than anything. So I'm honored that stuff like that even happens. So let's do a quick draw and see who gets a book. Sounds like they're hacking into the mainframe.
We're late.
But in the meantime, guys, I want to tell you guys, honestly, from the bottom of my heart, this is, a lot of people, they come up to the table and whatnot, and they go, oh, like somebody earlier said, what you do for us, what you do for us, what you do for us. And I hear it, and I've certainly been, on the other end, Muhammad Ali. It's like, as a kid, you think, wow, what he does for everybody. But let me tell you this, man. Whatever you guys feel when you meet, Reedus or anybody, it's nowhere fucking near what I feel when I see a room full of people like this. And I hope one day you guys can feel it. Because a lot of you guys travel a long way to sit in a room and hear me talk about something I've already been overcompensated for. But it's true, And from the bottom of my heart, every time I sit in one of these rooms, the feeling comes back. It's like, this is, I'd love to say that this is solely why you do it. Obviously I gotta put food on my plate too. But this is a wealth that's different than any other kind of wealth, man. When you've done something, somebody just wants to come up to you and take adoration, water into the ball, and smear it all the fuck over you. There's nothing that feels like it, man. And it's a lopsided love affair, I assure you. Whatever you think you guys are getting the good end of the stick, you're not. You're walking home with the short end. I got the big end. So thank you guys very much. I'm gonna be held responsible. Here we go. Somebody. Here we go. Who wrote Norman Reedus down? Norman Reedus has not read my book. In all fairness, he can't read though. I mean,
Get in the audio.
what's that?
Get in the audio version.
You probably will. And then he'll fall asleep and it'll end and you're like, I slept through the last 9 chapters. I thought it was subliminal. Okay. Mercurio. Audrey. Mercurio. They come to the table. I promise you guys. It's the can. Wow. Rather than give this away, if it means something to somebody, raise your hand if you would like the can if it means something to you. Okay, there's snooze. Guys. Have you read the book, sir? Stephanie. And I only do that because you'll understand the significance of the can if you read it on a very different level. It's not that I discount the significance to you guys, but I think you'll understand it. Anyway, from the bottom of my heart, guys, thank you very much. I'm honored and privileged every time I come to one of these.